what the Buddha woke up to, the gravity of consciousness, if you like, the law of gravity for consciousness, says that ain't no stuff out there that could ever generate that emotion in you. That emotion in you, thinking that is happiness, comes from you. That is empty of having that. Why? Because some people touch ice cream and they vomit. Some people touch ice cream and they have a reaction. Sometimes they go into bliss. If goodness was coming from the ice cream, everything that touched that thing called ice cream must have the same reaction because it's emanating goodness or yumminess or perfectness. It ain't there. It never was. That's what we call a gotcha, a mistaken view. It's empty of having that. So that's what Master Shantideva covered in so many layers in this course. And I'll give you a few, okay? I decided to make fun of it. Here we go. There's the proof of, so bear with me, okay? There's the first proof he gave is the proof of one or many, okay? So, is chicken there, right? Like ice, is the goodness in ice cream there? Is there chicken in that thing? Does that thing emanate chicken, right? We think it does, right? Like the guys in the chicken costume. So we look at it and go, chicken man, chicken man. That if chicken man was coming from that object, everything that looked at it, including pigs and other chickens, might say chicken man. Or worms, because it's emanating chicken. Right? So Master Shantideva goes, there's this proof of one and many. If that thing is a thing from its own side, it would be a complete thing. Your mind's going to go wild now, right? So if it's not there, could it be in the parts? Is it one or many? Because if it's chicken man, it can't have parts, right? So could the chicken man, or whatever we think is the thing, is it in this part or that part or that part? It's either one or many. It can't be many chickens, because if you put all these pieces together right now, they don't look like Chicken Man no more. So where did Chicken Man go? Right? So he's looking at the proof of one or many. Okay? So we discussed that, and he blew that out of the water. Then we went deeper than we had ever gone. So if you don't find the isness of ice cream in that thing, because there's the top of the ice cream or the bottom of the ice cream or the chicken man, this is the part of the leg. Yeah? Are you okay? What are we doing?
I just wanted to get the whole screen. It's not.
How
do I make it
back?
just
Yeah. Okay, absolutely.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
So then we went deeper than we ever went, and this was a whole class, and your mind struggles to go here, okay? But he went through a bunch of proofs about when you look at the parts, when you look at the raw data, in the Western point of view, we go to an atom or a subatomic particle, right, to look for the substance, the physical part of something. Is it there? Is that got a nature of its own? And every time you go down, it's like a rabbit hole. You can't find a nature. Every time you look, anything that's physical has to have sides, has to have like roundness, and you will always find the left side and the right side. What about the left side and the right side of the particle? So you can't ever find an isness, an essence in anything. There's no ice cream-ness or chicken man-ness coming from these objects. They are all of them are dependent on the perceptions of you, the viewers, the minds connecting with those objects. That's where reality is. You're projecting your reality not on purpose, not by choice. It's forced upon you by some other energy in your being before. Karma and emptiness. Are you with me so far? So it's not in that one. Then Master Shantideva went a little deeper. He blew us away, first of all. He wasn't feeling so good about Mr. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So he went to the emptiness of feeling. Because out of all the mental functions, feeling is the one that gets us in trouble. We feel a certain way and we want or reject. We create wars because of this. We create competition with each other because of this. And it creates the opposite of what we want. We want happiness. We want happiness. So if I fight her for the ice cream, I'm just coloring my mind with fighting, punching, negativity, greed for the ice cream. It's not in the ice cream. I just filled my mind with things that, if cause and effect are true, those things must ripen as my reality. So I will have competition for food and anger and frustration, and someone will punch me in the face. And I won't know where it came from, because I don't know how reality functions. Are you with me so far? Yeah? So he went, physical stuff is easy. We can say that about the ice cream, the pan, the chicken man. Yeah? The whole and the parts is a little bit more subtle. Because then you look at the parts, and the parts have parts, and the parts have parts, all the way to subatomic particles, and they have parts. If they didn't have parts, they wouldn't have sides, they'd come together, they'd disappear. That blows your mind. Okay. Then he went, feelings. You think feelings have a substance of their own. I felt anger. Anger must exist from its own side as anger. Not true. When you analyze anger, it doesn't have that function from its own side. It's just an energy moving. And then all of a sudden, followed by that energy, is a coloring or a substance that came from you projected onto those sensations. So Master Shantideva says, feelings, what you're having the feelings about, the cause of feelings, the object to which you're feeling, the subject state of mind, all of them don't have a nature of their own. Your experience of them is being colored by you, and it's so fast you miss it. You think it's in the ice cream, or the feeling, or the parts. So he covered that nicely, smashed that point of view. Then he went a little more subtle. He goes, not just for feelings, but all of mind. Right? I put the butterfly wings because in the West we think mind is in the brain. In the East, mind is not the brain. Okay? But I put butterfly wings to try and share the two. Okay? Mind is not a physical thing. Mind is non-physical. You can have synapses going off in the brain. You can have electrical signals going off. But mind, consciousness, the stuff of mind is not in the meat. Okay?
But wait, why the butterfly wings?
So it's not fully a brain, and it could be a floaty idea thing. You know, I don't know. I was trying to physically explain something that wasn't physical. Shut up. Okay. Huh? Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So then he went, the emptiness of your mind, which is harder still. So he's taking us, deconstructing the way we engage with our reality, deeper and deeper and deeper. So he's saying, you think the way your mind functions, a human mind, is the only limit of mind. Wrong. That is also empty of having that nature. Consciousness is experiencing itself because of what you've done to it in the past. It's habituated stuff. It will see itself that way. It's caused. Everything is caused. You're causing the way your mind is experiencing right now. In moments of dream, you experience your mind differently. In moments of brain fog, you experience your mind differently. When I punch you in the face and you get knocked out, your mind is experienced differently. It's changing. If it's changing, it's caused. So, he proved the emptiness of mind as having a certain quality from its own side. And then he went, oh, what about the parts of the mind? Yeah, if you follow mind in terms of time, can you find mind here, or the moments of mind? And even in the minutest moment of mind, the present moment of consciousness has a beginning, a duration, and an end. It moves. It's caused. It's projected by some projector inside of you, which is filled with data projecting onto sensations, cognition, awareness. And it's giving you this full range of experience that we think belongs out there. It's empty of belonging out there. Your whole experience of being is empty. He went deep. Started blowing our mind a little. And then he went, it ain't nowhere else either. He defeated like the duck point of view, not duck as in quack quack. The chicken defeated the duck. No, the point of view that there's a creator being that made all your problems for you. It ain't there. You made your problems for you. You made your solution for you. He says there ain't no being out there separate from your experience to the being that could ever dish out your problems and go, you know, I like you, you're exempt from feeling bad or receiving a negative experience. If you're having a negative experience, I like you. Don't like you so much, so you're going to be in hell. You know, ain't that, sorry, I don't mean really well. So he defeated that. He defeated a mechanical view of the world that has some nature of its own, some essence, and he even defeated some Buddhist views that thought things had self-existence that might only school and so on. He said, he proved there ain't no substance without an observer. And the observer comes loaded with karma, or energy that produces that experience. There is raw data, but when you look for it, you can't find it, because it's got raw data. And that's true of physical and not physical thing. So he disproved that chicken man or ice cream could exist in any way outside itself too. Yeah, so that was even deeper. And then, this one blew your mind, causes, right? The way things are coming about are also empty of having a nature of necessarily coming about only in that way. That was like, whoa, what did he just say? Karma and emptiness are empty? Yeah. There ain't no self-nature in anything. That's harder, way more subtle. We don't like it. We don't like it because our worldview tells us things exist out there. That's been the way we've been operating. It works for 98% of the time, sometimes 60, sometimes 40, sometimes 90, but we're comfortable in that. We're just used to that. So we don't like him saying, it ain't the way you've been experiencing it, so we struggle, especially if we're having a good time in our lives. You with me? So he says, is it there? Or is it there? So he says, no, it ain't there either. Is there anything else? Yeah. So that, he basically defeated every possible point of view you could have about things having a nature of their own, making you completely responsible for your world. Proving over and over and over in physical objects, non-physical objects, causation, that the ultimate state of reality is empty of having any innate essence from its own side. That everything in your world is relational, and that the same object could be perceived beautifully, negatively, neutral. Nothing to do with the object, physical or mental, to do with the perceptions forced upon it by the perceivers. So then the big question comes, what the hell should I do with choosing the right projection? Because I can't choose it now. I can't choose this to be something it isn't for me. That's forced upon me. So then the whole game becomes understanding emptiness and understanding karma, or the energy that produces that projection for you. Same object, different projections, as many as there are beings. Every being loaded with that energy, forcing to see this thing as a certain way. And then we fight with each other because ice cream is nice, ice cream is not nice. I like ice cream, I hate ice cream. You must be wrong. No, you must be wrong. I'll punch you in the face. And then we're just planting negativity. Do you see? So he just finished all that. Yay! And it feels sort of like this. This is you about to learn about the emptiness of causes. This part. When the world might look a little upside down to you for a while. Until it doesn't. So we get lost, okay? Because our world, we are habituated to think self-existently. We think the world is the way we've learned from our teachers in high school or primary school. Just our experience. I tasted ice cream, it tastes good. You're wrong, I'm right. Yeah? We don't realize the mistake because it happens so quickly. So if what Master Shantideva just proved is correct, we might feel this kind of loss. But when you analyze it, and it takes habituation, you have to learn it, learn it, learn it. That feeling of the ground coming from under you doesn't have to be falling, okay? It can be flying. See, if things were self-existent, if things had their own nature, then you're all screwed. All of you are screwed. There's no point in trying. Because if ice cream was good from its own side, always, then those that don't like ice cream are wrong, and I'm right. And that's it. We're fighting for the rest of our lives. If death and dying weren't empty, if they are self-existent, if that's what must happen and I must suffer and I must hurt, you're screwed. May as well get drunk. Yeah? So Master Shantideva is saying at this point, and I'm going to be really candid with you, okay? The busyness we have in our lives, the working hard day after day to get all the things we think have some goodness from their own side, all the struggle in the world to try and get those things, it's futile. The futility we feel about things are self-existent, so if I don't get enough of them, I'm going to be unhappy. That deep-seated sadness that I believe everyone has, that ain't going away the harder you work. And that ain't going away if you think things have those nature. The busyness that people have to say, if I keep busy, I don't have to look at that emotional state, that reality. And for those of you who have worked, for example, doing goodnesses in the world, if you think goodnesses also have a self-existence, you're eventually going to come to that futility space. What's the point of feeding the kids in Nepal if they're just also going to grow up and get upset and age and die? What's the point of helping the homeless if they're just going to end up broken? I mean, look at Donald Trump. He's got all the money he wants. Sorry. Sorry. You see what I mean? Like, in our everyday, we see people with all the things that we think will make them happy, and they are not. All the activity we do, at some level we know it's futile. And it's okay in your 20s, believe me, in your late 40s, it ain't pretty anymore. You don't believe the lie anymore. So you get serious about finding a solution. And if you're lucky enough, you got into finding a solution early, so by the time you're 40, you actually have some wisdom. So Master Shantideva is saying, if things are empty, and our karma gives things their nature, it's a game changer. It's not futile. Because things are transformable, and we know they're transforming. So this bad view that things are fixed in a certain way is a mistake anyway. He's saying, if you truly understand that things don't have a nature from their own side, if you really study, get into emptiness, wrap your head, find it in all sorts of ways that he just showed you, then everything is possible, really. Because you're the projector of possibility. You just got to find out the right energy to project and how that game works. Because then you're working with the levers of true reality, not fake reality. But this one feels so real. We're just a tiny speck in the spectrum of all reality. We think our view is the only right view. Mistake. Just on the human planet, we're wrong. And the animals were worse off. And all creatures that could ever have lived, your personal view of the way things are, it's a mistake. That there is a way that things are. And he's been trying to explain it throughout all these things. And so at the end of the chapter, imagine Master Shantideva, right, this amazing scholar in 700 AD, reciting these words for the first time in the greatest university at the time, Nalanda University in India. Scholars from all over the world listening to him, trying to embarrass him initially, remember? And at this time, he's floating off his cushion, the story goes, meaning people weren't getting what he was going because he was talking about the deepest kinds of emptiness. So he's reciting this and he's about to close the 9th chapter, the chapter of emptiness. He's proved emptiness, defeated all the different wrong views. And what does he finish it with? What does he finish the 9th chapter with? If he's proved that everything is up for grabs, that you can transform everything, not just your name, not just the world, your death, your idea of death, your idea of world, your identity as a being. You can become what they call a dharmakaya, a being that is in accord with ultimate reality and has a projection of itself in all sorts of forms to connect with every suffering realm. He finishes it with love and compassion. Because if things are empty and they're dependent on your karma, then the biggest karma, the biggest energy you can load in your mind to generate a perfect state of being is these two states of mind. Love and compassion. See, if love and compassion were self-existent, they wouldn't work. They'd be fixed. It's because things are empty that love and compassion can turn you into a liberated being. A love that is unconditional. Imagine it cause and effect, okay? We believe it for stuff, but imagine it for your mind, the thing projecting your reality, the thing streaming from your senses onto this world, forcing you to feel whatever you're feeling in this world, seeing whatever you're seeing. Imagine your projector completely loaded with unconditional love. I'm not talking about possessive love. I'm talking about a love that is unconditional. We'll talk about